Voices with Blake.
Listen and watch
Voices with Blake.
on Dan Blake TV on YouTube.
People like, how you got this voice, but yeah, I always used to think to myself, you know, these people speaking in between TV shows, like what is it? How do you? And I read about this guy who did Sky, and this was the article that kept coming up on Google, and I just thought, I just didn't know anything about it, and then after I'd been to that charity workshop, I was on my because it was you, Dan. You were the one who put me on my way.
Oh.
It's all down to you.
I think I remember now.
Yeah, because
email,
you gave me a name for someone called Kelsey.
Yeah, big shouts to Kelsey.
Big up Kelsey. If you know who you are, and I bizarrely had it on my Facebook. I don't know how. My thought I've met her on a night out. We've got chatting. We're Scottish. We've added each other on social media.
Let's pull this. I'm memorizing, lapping back to the story. So before you carry on there, I remember because Channel 4. Big shout to you, lot, man. Salute always, because that was my actual initial continuity, early entrance.
Yeah.
Big shout to Gabrielle Power also. You know, big shout to you, Gabrielle. Yeah. You know who you
and
are.
she's Munya's other half.
Munya's other half.
Yeah.
So,
and very talented woman. Very
talented. So much love for her because she was going hard for me early doors when she was at Channel 4.
Yeah.
Got me in with work experience. First time in Channel 4. Gas these times. That was one of my people. That voiceover continuity was one of my dream life goals. I was doing radio, but that was a goal in life to get on the TV. But as I said, to me, they were superheroes. Like you were saying, superheroes. So when she got me that work experience, I done a little, went to like, where did we go? We went Southend-on-Sea, workshops.
Oh, wow.
Done these little voiceover competitions.
Yeah.
They were very successful. Got a chance to go and do my first voiceover, which was Bob's Burgers.
Is that ITV too?
E4.
E4, right.
My first announcement, said written a couple lines of Kelsey. Shout out to Kelsey, and then after that, work experience done my thing, got that under the belt.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything after that, like with Channel 4, but it got my feet wet, and then I remember keeping in touch with Kelsey, and I remember the accents at that time. They were looking for certain sounds. And I just knew it. I knew. These times we knew each other.
Yeah.
And then we were developing a friendship. And I was like, Gully would be the ultimate fit for Channel 4. I was hearing you before you was on there.
Right.
I was just visualizing.
Yeah.
And I felt, it'll be a crime if I don't connect this guy.
Yeah,
to Kelsey. So I think we were.
That's right. You're Dan. You're the plug.
Yeah. Then I gave you an email.
Yeah.
And bang. I done the go from there.
No, but you gave me the name.
Yeah. The name. I said, yeah.
Which was the lead. Which was, but that was even more powerful because I had her on Facebook, and I still don't know how I had her on Facebook. And then sent her that after that charity workshop. I made that demo and then I sent it to her. She liked it, and then she was like, "Oh,
what year was this again?
2015."
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Do you want to come in and do, I'll run some scripts past you, and you can just sit in the booth and record." And I was a bit nervous because the only other job in London I did was maybe I did a couple of DJ gigs, but it was predominantly radio production. And we'd done like 2-3 hours in the studio, and then they says they'd be happy to take me on as a freelancer, and I was just like, wow.
Amazing. So that was the big entry into big
And
Channel
that's all
4.
you. That's you and Kelsey, man. Bloody hell.
Blessings. And I'm so proud of you. Since then, you went on to introduce some amazing programs. Can you list? This is a question I would love to get asked one day. Maybe we can ask each other now. That'd be quite fun. Can you list some of your? I don't know. Would it be? I don't know. As TV now, what has been like? All right. Let me just ask this question. What would you say? Some of the. Give me like, I don't know, 5 moments that you enjoyed like on TV as a continuity announcer. To note so far.
Okay, I introduced the finale to the Formula One season.
Woo!
Where Lewis Hamilton was screwed out of the championship. Well, that's another discussion. But I introduced that race for Channel 4 when they had rights alongside Sky. I introduced the last ever episode of Peep Show. And like those for people that I don't know why people, but there's like those websites where you can like download TV shows and one of those dodgy sites. But my voiceover is still on that original episode. So my
lovely.
mate downloaded it from some dodgy site and was like, "Oh, I heard you interviewing and introducing the end credits on Peep Show." Also, I've always been a big fan of Father Ted.
Legendary.
So when it came to like Christmas, when I first started, I got to introduce like Father Ted. What else? Like, obviously, it's I got a little stint in a Mo Gilligan show.
Oh, the one with Big Nasty.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to watch that.
So it was a little sketch that they introduced a continuity announcer. And yeah, I don't know what else really, to be honest. There's about a couple of moments in there.
Interesting. Do you feel have you introduced news before?
Channel 4 News, yeah.
Interesting. How does it obviously announcing kind of other kind of TV shows, it's quite a different tone when you're doing news, right? It's like a different energy, isn't it? It's
No,
it's like you shift to like you slightly feel like a news presenter yourself.
Yeah,
the announcement.
I keep the tone strictly basically. Just
business.
Don't mess about. And that's the thing with these jobs. You're in a booth and you've got a program director next to you,
exactly,
and they will maybe tell you perhaps what the top story will be if it's Ukraine or something. But naturally, I'm always going to news very, very gentle. And obviously, if there's been a big. Luckily, I've not been on rota when there's been like a big incident. I remember when it was the Manchester bombing, and there's a guy called Pete who works with us who wrote this beautiful poem because he's originally from Manchester, I believe. Yeah, and he wrote it's on YouTube, but he wrote this beautiful poem. It was dedicated to the people of Manchester, and it was before the news. And he's got nerves of steel because he managed to do that, deliver that live. So it's about knowing what tone to have in it.
And this is it. So you're at Channel 4, you're in the building, you've introduced some of your favorite programs and some of the biggest programs in the UK, in the world on TV, and you're getting your feet wet, you're doing your thing, you're dabbling. But what people always ask me even is like, is it live? Is it
that's a common question, yeah.
But when it's obviously there's a balance here and there. Some stuff gets pre-recorded, some stuff is live. That's with every channel. But how do you feel when you're live? Because in live, it's like you have to have this moment of zen with yourself to realize that it's only you. There's no one. If it messes up, it's you.
I know.
If you do it well, it's you. So you kind of have to make peace with yourself to
you
get
do
it right.
You do.
I don't know how to describe it. It's announcer to announcer. We're having our moment.
Yeah, because let's have it right. When you put that mic up, I don't know how many people you're broadcasting to. Depends what the show is or whatnot. But it's still Channel 4. It's still BBC One. There is a lot of pressure on it. I still get that. So it's more calm now. But if I've got a long link to do and I need to, I'm trying to shorten it down, or like one of the last times I was in, the printer wouldn't work, so I had to do everything off the laptop. So there's little kind of moments, but you have to back yourself. But it's probably like anyone that does TV, like in front of the camera or radio, any sort of live broadcast, you have to just be like, we've got this. Let's take a deep breath, and you practice. And I've got my trusted water bottle, and I always make sure never to have crisps before I link, because there's been a couple of times I've had like peppercorn crisps and it gets stuck at the back of your throat, and you can't get your words out. So you have to make peace for yourself and just always be a bit gentle on yourself and just practice. And the good thing is you get your practice runs, but it's going live. It's a big deal, and people think that some people think it's an easy job. It's not an easy job at all. There's a lot of lawyers to go through. There's read throughs. There's making sure picking it. Compliance is the editorial element of it is like, which is what we've probably learned from BBC's. You've got to you've got to be aware of what's going on in the news, the audience, and
the language checks you have to say. It's programming.
It's all these exactly. It's all these skills that you learn that you then apply to. You don't think about it actually, how the list of things that you learn, even the certain days when you've been in a job, not saying the continuity, but there's been times when I've been in production when I've just been like, this is not me at all, why am I not presenting? But the flip side of that is you've learned skills that people will still look at and be like, right, this guy knows about editorial. You know, if you're trying to go through anyone in BBC, they will want to know that you know you're editorially sound.
Yeah.
Unless you're a celebrity, whereas you just get casted for the job.
Yeah.
But if you're coming in and you're trying to like get in there, you know, via the hustle, then you know, being editorial. Well, I mean, editorially sound is someone that understands the judgment calls and what the audience is and all that type of thing.
Yeah. You know, just doing your knowledge and research, you know, due diligence when you're
Exactly.
into a role. But yeah, man, you know, the voiceover business, man. And, what kind of other work you've been doing as like in the voiceover game and stuff? Man?
For a nice run of things recently, I had BBC Three. There was a show called Job Fished, which was presented by Catherine Nye. Big up Catherine. She's a journalist over at BBC News. And the show was a huge hit, basically, because anyone that's watched Tinder Swindler, there's a common theme of these shows that are being released now where someone is basically duping or swindling someone out of something. So this Job Fish program was about this fake company that was set up online, and they hired all these people during lockdown, and it was crazy. But I got my first ever voiceover acting job. I played one of the accused. And obviously, he was Scottish. Some people said to me, "Oh, why are the Scottish always accused of these crimes?" And I was like, "Well, actually, his reputation in the show was quite good." So, and then I'd done a job for Chaiwalla. Chaiwalla, as we know, is huge down here. They've got a branch in Glasgow. My mate does all the editing for them. So we've done a funny skit, and I have voiced the first ever Scottish ad for them.
Oh well, congrats!
And then. I've done some All 4 promos. All 4 is like when you'll see if you're watching Channel 4, and it'll be like they'll show you like a clip of like First Dates, and then at the end of it, it'll be like, you know, First Dates available now on All 4 or whatever it is. What else? I had something else that came about. But yeah, there's been these are like my first, like, even though I've been doing it since 2015, I've not pushed myself as hard as I could. But now I want to get involved in it, and I know it's very competitive, but. You got it, and that's helped me in my TikTok journey as well. You know.
Yeah. This is it. Like you're just using, you know, the experience you have, and I feel like when you're doing continuity as well, you're introducing various kind of topical programs of different styles. So it kind of gets you battle ready for other areas. Like, because you're hardened to always using your voice continuously. You know, throughout a month, you know, you're always on air recording scripts, saying words. So you kind of battle hard on yourself. So when it comes to like doing promos and stuff like that, it's not so super daunting because you're always working your voice when you're doing continuity. You know. Yeah,
I'll tell you, just in terms of like just not necessarily just because we do this as a job, but the voice, the voice is huge. Like I think anyone, like, obviously, like, you know, it's pressure being in front of a camera and maybe doing live TV or whatever. But in terms of you're using your voice in everyday life, if it's negotiation, calming down a situation, or you know, if they always say, even if you're dating someone, you want to date someone, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Yeah, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. And I think that the more that I've did the jobs with putting a pair of headphones on, you can really hear, like, me and you have got deep voices, right? Big up our voices, because a lot of men would love to have these voices. That's that testosterone, you know.
Barry White Jr.
Yeah, you got that Barry White. I don't know what mine's is, but
I'll tell you what. Before we go in there, like, let's pause on that. Yeah, but I remember, shout out to Westwood. I remember 2012. I was on the show, and then I think I was. It was like, so these times I was MCing still. These times when I used to do music, guys. So. I was MCing, so he goes, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Brainlock MC." And he goes, "You got some bars?" And I think Delisa, shout out to Delisa, she was working on the show at the time, and I worked at Amazon. He was like, "Oh," Wes was like, "Oh, has he got bars?" Like, and she was like, "Yeah." She nodded her head, like, "Yeah, he's cool." So I was like, he heard me speak or whatnot. Then I don't know, out of nowhere, that's how I know his comedic value was on point. Out of nowhere, he had a Barry White sample. He pulled it out and ripped me on air.
That's so funny, man. That means he likes you, though.
To the next song.
That means he likes you, though.
But you know what? I always remember that moment because Nick Bright. I talked about it with Nick on the last pod. Yeah. Because I forgot. Because this is why you got to do podcasts with your mates and stuff. Because it's like your memory jig back and you think,
Yeah.
I actually forgot that he was even there that day in the studio, because that day was the first time I'd ever done a voiceover.
Wow, okay.
One extra for Dubstep Week.
Yeah.
But I was nervous as hell. I was with Patrick. Shout out to Patrick, sound producer at BBC. But I was starstruck. It's the first time I'd ever been in the building.
Yeah.
I was called to come and do a voiceover. Didn't know what a voiceover was.
Yeah.
Why I was here. Apparently, I got a good voice.
Yeah.
I was rapping at the time, so I was trying to get my music played on the radio. So I went in the studio because I was just basically trying to calm my anxiety down.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know what to do. Patrick, these times he's the big producer already. He's telling me his structures, do this, do that. I'm not coming out with what they've heard, they've heard in my tone. So went on Westwood. But that comedic banter, that got me. Funny enough, I was getting roasted, but it was funny.
Yeah.
He was mimicking the Barry White energy. He had some Barry White song come out of nowhere. And I laughed. It was good banter, and it relaxed me. So
That's it.
Time I was done.
Yeah.
Then Bun B and Eve were guests that day.
Right.
Because for the Gumball 3000 race.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's right.
And Westwood had to go somewhere. And Nick Bright took over. Now that's when Nick jogged my memory. He was like, he took over the show.
Right.
That day, because he was there, but I just forgot. So that was a moment there. So just like with the whole Barry White energy.
There you go. You got to just own what you've got. You know?
So then it kind of made me own it. I was like, yeah, man, I can do this. I was comfortable, and then I smashed it out of the park that day.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, big up the deep voice crew.
Exactly, big up the deep voice crew. Exactly, and the high pitched lads like David Beckham, you can still win.
Exactly.
Well, David Beckham always wins, but
he's been winning for time. Football club and all that. Yeah, man. Yeah, so the voice career has been flying. What else you got coming up, bro? What else is going on?
So listen, again, I'm not going to be like, oh, I've got this guy. I hate to say things before they happen, but yeah, obviously I'm spending most of my time in Glasgow now, so really trying to kind of make moves in sport up there and see what's happening. I think certainly what's happening on the TikTok is really good. I think all that experience I had of interviewing music artists has been great, but I pretty much took myself out of music, so I'm not really doing it. It's all, the focus is basically voiceover and the presenting, and so it's sport and presenting. That's
Sport and presenting.
That's the game, you know.
So you're refocusing, aligning those goals, and
it used to be music, and I just thought to myself, actually, like, I enjoy doing this music thing, but how different can I be from anyone else? And I realised that I believe that I believe that you can be different in the sporting field, as opposed to the music field. I feel is so saturated. I'm not saying it's bad, but I just think that, I don't know, I just like sport. I don't know why. Maybe it's social media probably has taken a turn for the better. All the sports, like in the form of wrestling, everything else has become sports entertainment, where you've got characters, where you've got characters that have got social media profiles, and they became characters and whatnot. So everything's taken it. And I'm not saying music doesn't have that, but I just think that sports is unlimited, because you got the performance, which we can critique. You wouldn't really naturally critique someone on a music performance. You could, you'd be like, oh, you performed that song, it was amazing. But you can get into so much in the sport, whether it's boxing or football, darts, snooker, UFC, whatever it is. And then if the person wants to get on the mic and start giving it Billy Big Balls, then if you're there with the camera, you're like, you keep talking, mate, I'm getting hits out of this. So there's so much juice.
And there's emotions, high emotions all
the
time in sport.
And the stakes are high.
Super high.
The stakes are high. I don't care if it's National League. I don't care if it's Sunday League. The stakes are high. So yeah, sport and voiceover, man. That's it. And I'd like to do a bit more voice acting, and I obviously I want to be on the TV. That's what I want to do.
This is big. I love it. And you're putting them affirmations out on the camera, man. He's saying it. It's clear.
Yeah, I just think, listen, for too long, I think it was also like living in London. I became quite stagnant, and I think that don't let anyone bundle you into a box, or don't spend too much time in one place, I think, as well, because you begin to believe what other people think about you, and you need to take yourself out of that and actually realise that the world is huge. And like, if you've got a mobile phone and a phone charger, you can do anything you want.
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah,
as I said at the start of it, you can be a guy that is in Estonia, in India, Belarus. You can be Timbuktu. If you've got content, just go make it. And again, I'm not like some 100K influencer, but this is the most joy and success I've had. So
I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you're in your moment of good energy, in a happy place.
Yeah,
that's very important, bro.
Yeah, and I think as well, when I was saying like about mental health, I think once you become to focus on one thing, you'll be better for it.
Yeah.
And when when you're trying to like be an octopus, and have your hands in
Yeah,
everywhere, it's just it's not good for anyone.
Yeah, then you got your whole personal life going on as well. It's in the background.
You're spreading yourself. So at least with one focus, you can be like, let's begin something here, and then we can begin to make some money from it.
Yeah, it's just man. You gotta believe in yourself, people, man. Believe in that thing that you feel like. Sometimes belief, people feel like they don't go fully in.
No,
they try to go the other way when it gets a bit challenging, it gets a bit tough.
And I know we're wrapping up, but I just think that's why I love TikTok so much. And you know, I think you've always got to be thinking, oh right, there could be another platform soon, but hopefully TikTok has 2-3 years or whatever still. But I love it because it's so raw, it's so DIY. Some of the best videos like, they're shot in a 5110. You know, like there's no like and people always say this, but it's right. Instagram, people cannot be bothered with it anymore because everyone was like doctoring and falsifying who they were, and we're only sharing the moments. Whereas like TikTok, people overshare about their sex life, about their mental health, about what fetishes. And granted, I'm not going to go down that far line because I'm quite a private person, but I just think that, you know, if anyone's not on TikTok, you're not late to it. You can get on it, but find something and just keep banging it out. Do a video every day.
Video a day keeps the social media followers, you know, following you, man. Keeps you up.
Yeah, exactly. Find your audience and use the right hashtags. And
it's funny that because I was looking for a rhyme. I was like social
no, I think you're going to get. You're going
to say like, you know, like
an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Yeah,
I was thinking the same. I was waiting for it. I've had it in my head.
Yeah, you had it, and then it flew. But
no pun.
No. Listen.
What do you think about like on the wrap it up though? What do you think about like the traveling aspect of the game? Are you a man that want to travel and see different markets?
Yeah,
like America, how they do things over there, and this kind of thing. But it's interesting. I noticed like when I done some just presenting out in America, like when I literally, as you said, just grabbed my phone.
Yeah.
Like I was just in LA and like had a friend of mine, Sophie. Big shout out to her, amazing radio plugger. Just like, yo, you're in LA, I want to hook you up with all these artists. And I just I held like 3 press days in like Dream Hollywood Hotel. And then like I was ranking up all of these artists that now have gone on to become like huge global stars like Coyle Ray and people like that. And I got them early, like, and it's like, and it was getting a lot of traction. People, oh, you're in LA, killing it, doing that and that. It's like, it's interesting when you travel, you see the perspective from your homeland.
Exactly.
How you're doing, which is another kind of interesting marketing angle of the game. Travel around.
I think if anyone gets the opportunity, I don't care where it is, because you'll learn something. Go, and if it means taking a bit of a hiatus from your job, go for it. I obviously only spent like 4 months in Mali, so it wasn't like I was discovering myself in some remote area in the world. But there was growth in that. But I met a guy last Thursday, which was when Rangers were playing that first leg of the Europa League against Red Star Belgrade. And his name is, I think it's Thogden, who's a big YouTuber, big football YouTuber. He goes everywhere. He's a young guy, he's 20 years old. Thursday night he was at the Madrid game. Wednesday night he was at Madrid versus PSG, and then Thursday he was in Glasgow to watch the Rangers. Then on the Friday he was in Ireland watching an Irish derby, Shamrock Rovers versus Bohemians, I think it was. And he gets to travel everywhere, presumably because he's a crazy amount of followers and he must have sponsorship. But if you do have a chance to go somewhere, or even if it's like a month and you're going back to the motherland or whatever, take a camera and because your footage for your audience, if you're getting it over there, you're gonna have a bigger. I believe you're going to have a bigger story to tell over there for your audience that are here. Because which I notice for people that are doing really well in football vlogs is the people that can't travel to these countries, that are from Tokyo and whatever, people that just don't have the money to travel. These football vloggers are giving people an opportunity to see what it's like to be in the stadium, what it's like to speak to the fans. So anyway, if you get the opportunity to go, and as I said, hopefully manifest it. I will manifest it. I would love to go to Qatar. So
big up, you will,
man. Let's see. I mean, to be honest, though, there's a lot of conflict in terms of human rights. So I don't know.
Anyway, bro, always a pleasure. How long have we been chopping up for? I swear more than an hour or something like that. I feel like time flies. What are we saying?
I would wrap it then.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to my guy Gully. Let them know all the social platforms, bro. One more time, man.
Yeah, listen, predominantly, obviously TikTok, Gully Talks, GULLY Talks, and get me on Instagram, DJ Gully UK. I'm still doing my DJ bits.
Yeah, you done that all of you. That's all. Before we wrap up, though, I didn't get mentioned to that. The DJ, the night town gigs.
Yeah, I'm no longer at Nike anymore,
yeah.
but I had a good stint there for about 6.5 years. Good people there. Big up Hits, big up everyone that gave me an opportunity. That was a great experience in terms of working with a big brand. I probably didn't utilise it as well as I could have, but again,
Get discount.
I mean, big up everyone that asked me for that discount. I no longer get it. So yeah,
I feel like a waste, man. 6 years I've known you, I didn't ask you once.
Well, my Scottish people up there, they were like, "Oh, you stopped working at Nike?" He's like, "Oh, like I could have been getting discount," but I said, "Look, every month I had it. I never used it."
You know, all them years I used to hop in and see you working.
Right. Now I'm like an anomaly. I'm wearing an Adidas top and I'm wearing Nike trainers and Hollister socks and ASOS boxer shorts. So yeah, I've a bit more flexibility. But yeah, Nike was good. But anyway, wrapping it up, just I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just say like find something and just bang it out, man. Bang it out.
Love DJ Gully, Dan Blake. His Voices with Blake. It's episode 4. Jojo on the camera. We're wrapping up, man. Peace and love, blessings, and we'll see you again. Till next time.
Listen and watch
Voices with Blake
on Dan Blake TV on YouTube.